Bannon, in a sense, was like Icarus. He rose so quickly. He has appeared to now fall very quickly. Are you surprised by how short his tenure as favored advisor has been?
No, because I don't believe his tenure is going to be short. Look, this president, what everybody has to get used to is this president has a very distinctive management style. And there's only one president, and there's only one point of view, and I can promise you he does not get manipulated. He surrounds himself with various really bright people. Steve is one of them. Steve is dedicated, he's committed, he has the presidency here, and he's got a philosophy that has true import in the president's agenda. As does Jared, as does Reince, who's running the locomotive, and he's doing a great job, as does Gary Cohen and Dina Powell, as does H.R. McMaster's. So what happens is he curates different points of view, and he encourages confusion amongst them. So what happens is a misunderstanding sometimes on the outside that, of course, you're going to have fights inside of the sandbox that are on purpose. And the president then curates a point of view to determine what he wants to do, and he adapts. So I think what you see happening is a president going from contender to a campaign viable candidate to president, and at each place he's adapting to the information that he has in front of him. And I think he's doing an incredible job, and I think the team is the A team. And inside, I can also tell you, I spent 2 days with most of the team. There's more harmony, they're better organized, things are starting to move. The agencies are getting their teams. Remember, the president influences policy legislation as a head of state and a commander-in-chief. The agencies are the ones who implement the policies. And there's no team. Out of the 2,700 presidential appointees, there's probably 50 in place. So he's just getting going.
So I'm curious, though, because obviously he's now done 2 interviews with the New York Post and the Wall Street Journal. The Wall Street Journal tonight, this is the latest quote. Bannon is, quote, a guy who works for me. I mean, look, Bannon was portrayed, Tom, as calling the shots. Let's just be honest. The New York Times opinion piece one time, President Bannon. Cartoons mimicked and mocked their relationship. Saturday Night Live with, of course, this now infamous skit. Was Bannon drawing too much attention to himself and away from the president? I mean, look, the president was given the direct opportunity to stand behind him, and he is not doing so.
Well, look, I think the president is standing behind him because Steve is still a very important part of his triumvirate.
So the bottom line is you don't see Steve Bannon going anywhere, the president fully abandoning him. He's just teaching him a lesson?
I don't. Look, the president is the president, and whenever you forget who's in charge, he will teach all of us a lesson. And I think all that's happening is in the inner workings of the White House, as everybody is gaining more command and control, and honestly, I'm not giving you a political point of view. I'm telling you, in my opinion, it's running better today than it's ever run. And what this team has accomplished in 96 days is monumental. Forget about the politics of what's happened. And after last week with President Xi and what happened in Syria and how they all came together, the fine-tuning of his team around him and saying, by the way, there's no I in team. You work for America and the President of the United States. Everybody remember that? Is just how any executive would adjust his team.